Rahim and Assalamu Alaikum. In our series of programs where we are discussing some policies in HR, today's program is about when to promote the employees in the organization. In certain organizations, there are very defined principles and procedures as to when an employee shall be getting promoted. In some others, there is somehow confusions and normally the promotion, especially in some of the private organizations, the promotions are very much at the whims of the owner of the company or the senior managers or directors of the company. So whom they like to get them promoted. In public sector, somehow the promotion criteria is very settled, and but it is settled in a way that it depends on the years of service an individual has done into the public sector or into the organization. And of course, when there are very senior civil servants, people, they go through a lot of training programs, and they need to complete a number of years of specialized trainings to earn that next grade. We will focus on most of the private sector, of the corporate sector, the policies in which it is written that how a person will be promoted. Since we coach and consult and do consulting work with different organizations in terms of their policy making also, so we thought that we should provide some good procedures in terms of what are the minimum criteria that should be settled to promote an individual into the organization. So in this presentation, I will bring forward about 5 such areas where that should be considered while promoting an employee into the organization. There can be more, there can be different procedures, different way of approaching this issue of promoting the employees, but these should be the areas which should be minimum, which should be considered as a minimum. Remember, promotion to the next grade or brings more responsibilities. It should bring more responsibilities. It should bring more accountability also, where it brings more benefits and compensation. At the same time, a person who is to be considered for the promotion must show a number of things which not only giving him a seniority into the organization on the basis of his seniority, his years of experience, but also his work standards and how he has developed himself. So let's see very quickly those basic 5 criterias that should be considered when a person should be considered for promotion. The first thing is that whenever there are objectives given, it should be seen that he or she has completed at least 95% of the objectives. 95 is just an idea. It can be within your organization, it can be 80, it can be 85, it can be 90, it could be 100. But something which is below 80 is something that one should not be considered for promotion. So 95% or above 80% of the objectives given objectives of that year, of that previous year, should be completed by the employee. Now, what are those objectives and how those objectives should be settled? This is the next thing that should be very carefully crafted within the organization. Those objectives should cover, should be related to his or her departmental job, and must cover and not limited to these 5 things. One, the person worked over and above the given JD. These objectives above the objectives, that's the basic objectives. The next thing is that he or she should have worked above the given JD, the job description that is written into the organization. All those points should be covered. That is the basic thing. Now, for getting the promotion, he or she should have worked beyond that job description. Number 2, completion of any assigned work out of the JD or within the JD in a manner that is earlier than the given timelines by the organization or by the supervisor. That objective, that project that one has done must have saved cost and must have enhanced revenue of the organization. Now, the question arises that there are certain departments which do not directly work towards enhancement of the revenue, but that's what the individual has to show, that how his work in IT perhaps, or in engineering, or in HR, or in any support department, how his or her work has shown that that there is an enhancement of revenue within the organization. Then the third point is that his job should be enriched, done more than what was required. Depth of work should be there. So if an individual is doing a job over his objectives during the year, he should have done in-depth work in those areas. So there shouldn't be any area that should be left untouched, or any question that should be left untouched within his or her job. Then job should be enlarged, took up more responsibilities within the department, or within the area that he is working in, and then the job should be rotated during that year, that he or she has taken someone else's work, some other department, or some within his own department, some other task that is there. So this is a comprehensive, this is just a guideline. It's a comprehensive kind of a guideline that an individual should have gone beyond his or her JD to be considered for employment. Now, one point is very crucial here that I should explain, that when a person has done the job according to his JD, that's what he is paid for. So if someone has completed all the tasks according to his JD, it should not qualify him for the promotion. It should only qualify him for a satisfactory work, because that's what he has done. He has completed his job description, work according to his job description. Then, to be considered for promotion, any employee must complete at least 50 hours of training during that year. So he or she should have attended the training programs. He should have joined all the development areas that he or she should be considering for his skills enhancement, both in the soft side or in the technical side. If he is an IT guy, engineering guy, production guy, one should consider that what new skills he or she requires in that year. So there should be a minimum hours. So now 50 is again just a number. It can be customized according to the needs of your organization. It can be more than 50, it can be less than 50, but there should be a good number which should be considered while making this procedure, that there should be a number of hours that should be included into this process. Then the next part is a person who is to be promoted should do either of these things. If any organization says that they can do all these three things, that's good enough. If the organization says that in the first year they can, of their performance appraisal or promotion thing, that they can pick one of these things, let's say like what delivery of training for minimum of 20 hours. Now, in the previous objective was that he or she should attend the training programs. Now he or she should deliver the training programs also. Whatever skills he or she has got, he should impart it to all the other staff members within the organization. So there should be a specific number of hours that he or she should deliver a training program within the organization. Then become a mentor of any other employee and complete at least 50 hours of coaching. So a person who is so good that he or she thinks that he should be promoted should become a mentor of any other individual into the organization. Then develop and implement a new system in his or her department to save cost and enhance revenue within the organization, or productivity into the organization. So it effectively says that the person who is too good that he should be considered for the promotion, he should have shown that because of his work, because of his new system that he has shown, because of the out-of-box thinking that he has delivered, the company is saving cost and enhancing productivity into the organization. The next point is about his own education, his own training, his own academic education, certifications within his or her own field. The point that we discussed, that he should attend some training programs to enhance his skills. There short-term training programs to enhance his soft and technical skills. This is something to enhance his capabilities, his academic capabilities, or his professional capabilities, and he or she should be abreast of whatever is happening in his or her own profession. For example, a professional certification to enhance his professional credentials. If someone is doing some academic enhancing academic qualification, someone is just an intermediate, or 12, he has passed just 12 grades, and now he within the organization he thinks that now I have to enhance my qualification and do bachelor's or graduation or master's or MPhil or PhD. So all these stuff should count, should it comes with a cost, because he or she will spend some good amount of time in studying all these things. Then perhaps some certifications within his own area of interest. I mean, these are the things which shows that an individual is serious about his or her own profession, her work, her skill enhancement, and he has done some good amount of work on him or herself when he does enhances his certification, his qualifications, his academic or professional qualification. That shows that the person is in sync with whatever best practices happening around him and how the new stuff is coming in. So that brings up a good case for one to be promoted. So in this small presentation we have shown you that what HR departments into the organization can consider as to make their promotion policies within the organization, and how they should take up this case of helping their employees at the one hand, but on the other hand helping the organization to develop such promotion policies which should directly impact the productivity of the organization as well as of the individual who is being promoted. So thank you very much for your time, and hopefully you have got some good ideas out of this. You don't have to just take all of these ideas. Perhaps in the beginning you can start with one and then move ahead with other ideas within your organization. Thank you very much. Khuda Hafiz.